Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I was doing a little bit of work on the Fremo modules, getting them ready for the Rochester RPM, which as of the time of this video is only a week away. Pretty exciting. The RPM is going to start February 21st, but my modules have to be there on the 20th for setup. So I was about to tear these down when I realized that I really haven't given you guys much of an update on these Fremo modules since before the last how-to wiring video. And as you can see, things really look a lot different now than they did back almost 6, maybe almost even 8 months ago at this point. So there's a lot to go through, and I want to jump right into it. So the first big thing that you might notice as we're checking out the Fremo modules is the addition of this big structure. Now this is just a stand-in structure actually. It's kind of was hastily put together right before the Northeast Region Convention last fall so that I had something as far as progress to show there in between the Sydney Shakedown and that event. It's really just a stand-in. All it is a 1/4-inch Luan with a printed corrugated metal siding texture. Nothing too crazy, just bought a stock image of corrugated metal in a couple of different colors, put it into Lightroom and created a banner size image with it, and then took it to Walgreens to have them printed just like I have my backdrops for the rest of the layout. And speaking of backdrops, you'll notice that I've also taken advantage of some of the leftover backdrop that I've had for the main layout here on the Fremo layout as well. Now this is likely to be just stand-in backdrop at this point because I like it so much that I'm thinking I might go to Batavia and take photos of the actual area behind this area of Batavia, New York to use as my backdrops here. But I was really happy with the way all of the Finger Lakes imagery ended up working out behind the modules for the time being, just so that you don't have to deal with the boring cement texture behind the layout here while it's set up at home. Now there's also a couple other ways in which we've progressed a little bit here on the Fremo modules, mostly to do a little bit with kind of filling out the freelance rolling stock roster. You'll notice here to the left, I've got a pretty long line of salt hoppers now. Those are kind of going to be used as my free running cars at Fremo meets. They don't really necessarily have an operational home here on the layout, but they are pretty fun. There's some home road freelance ones, there's some from friends, and plenty of really cool covered hoppers in the salt fleet, and more to come, which is pretty exciting as well. You might also notice to the right of those covered hoppers, we've actually got another locomotive done for Genesee Wyoming Transportation, the freelance that resides on these modules, and that is SD40-2 number 31. This is one of the former Balfour, Colucci Creek, and Southern SD40-2s that will have come from Dennis Colucci's short line. He ordered them for his short line in CNW spec, which is why you see the nose gong bell. This one I decided to make an Operation Lifesaver livery, which I thought was pretty darn neat, and did a little bit more extra work to it. It's got some Cannon & Company etched metal walkways on it. It's got, you know, ESU scale sound system speakers and all LED lighting, you know, kind of my standard stuff other than the etched metal walkway, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. And then I've still got number 32 on the workbench. Number 31 is supposed to be kind of a fresh paint scheme, just out of the paint shops with the brand new Operation Lifesaver logo as of 2005. And then number 32, which is the second of the SD40-2s that came from Dennis, is still over on my workbench, and that's going to be looking really ratty, and some of Dennis's paint's going to be kind of showing through, showing its age, showing that we kind of didn't do the greatest job back in the 80s painting the two locomotives, and we're starting to pay the price for it here in 2005. But I'm looking forward to getting that one done. I'm hoping to have it done in the next week for the RPM, but we'll see. As long as things go smoothly, it should happen. So speaking of freelance rolling stock being completed, I literally just got done with 3 high-sided scrap gondolas for GWT. They are so fresh that there is actually still literally oil paint drying on all 3 of them. But these were a really fun project. I picked them up at Springfield. Pretty good deal. I think I paid like 20 bucks a car, nothing too crazy. Decided I would patch them out for GWT. Got the Circa decals on the sides as well. Got them all weathered up. Really happy with how they're looking. But this one here is definitely my favorite. I had some fun with this one. I decided that our pesky tagger here on Genesee Wyoming Transportation had tagged over the Circa logo, and well, that's just, you know, there's a lot of graffiti that the company will tolerate, but tagging over the Circa logo, that's just that's not okay. So they came back over with an oxide red patch to put behind the Circa logo and patched out the Not Graffiti tag with a brand new Circa logo. So pretty fun. That allows me to tell a little bit of a story here with the 3 brand new high-sided scrap gons. Really happy with how they turned out. Unfortunately, I can't lift them up off the layout right now just because, well, the oil paint is still wet and they're going to stay here till they're dry. But really happy with how those turned out, that's for sure, and looking forward to them being a part of Fremo Ops as things progress. So this might be a little bit of an unfamiliar view for a lot of people. If you're not following my short form content or Facebook, you might not be aware of this particular project. The Fremo modules have been converted to now be a junction module. We have a junction coming in here off of the siding and going out, and this is supposed to represent the old Erie Railroad Batavia branch, which ran from Batavia, New York down to Attica, New York, where it allows my freelance to interchange with Norfolk Southern. There's also another industry in Alexander as well, a Cargill feed that's closed in real life, but as far as the freelance is concerned, they'll still be serving as of 2005. I decided with the modules being so long and so bulky that they really needed to have a little bit more utility when I was bringing them to Fremo Meets. And funny enough, the junction that we've put in here would have been right here. In real life, it was a diamond that went over the New York Central and continued on the Erie Railroad, but you know, if a short line was to take over both lines, this is exactly where it would have made sense for them to connect both lines. So we've got the junction in here. We're calling it Batavia Junction, and I'm looking forward to having this be put through its paces at the Rochester RPM. There's officially going to be at least 1 module on the end of this, so we'll be able to really get a good test in and make sure everything's working with the junction. But it allows these modules to be a lot more useful when it comes to Fremo Meets instead of just a giant 16 feet of straight track. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that works out, and I'm looking forward to sharing everything with you guys as well. There's been a ton of progress on these modules over the last kind of 6 to 8 months since I've shared them last, and I'm so excited to finally be able to sit down and share it with you guys again. And I hope that you're looking forward to more to come, because we've officially got all of the tie gaps filled and we're actually ready to paint track, do ballast, and start scenery as soon as we get back from the Rochester RPM. So these modules should be progressing even more throughout the year 2026, and I'm looking forward to bringing you guys along for the ride. If you're interested in seeing more progress here or on the main layout, or just hanging out for a Talkin' Trains live stream on Monday night, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.